You click on a head, he instantly kills someone. It's like, whoa!
How many games before that did that, you know?
Valve doesn't always have the best interest for the players.
It's just low-hanging fruit.
How much is it the game changing and how much is it me changing?
What's more important than the things you choose to do with your idle time?
Who's introducing it this time? Who's saying welcome to Idle Time, hosted by blah, blah, blah.
Should we rotate?
I assume it should still be Zesty, but
I mean, I'm the one that
I think you should do it casual. I think you should do it casual.
All right, casual, take it away. You do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Idle Time, Episode 2, hosted by Zesty Jesus, Richter Overtime, and myself, Casual TF2. What are we talking about today, Zesty?
I mean, the hot button topic right now, and the reason why we're coming back because originally we were gonna try to make this a monthly thing, but since this is a TF2 centric podcast, this is pretty big news. There is an official man versus machine update coming from Valve. Come October.
And now, Man vs. Machine, historically, this podcast, we've been super glowing about Man vs. Machine.
Big fan.
We've had nothing but nice things to say about it so far.
It's all we can talk about. It's all the player base can talk about for years. Everyone has adored MvM since its inception. It's like the number one thing people come to TF2 for. We are so stoked that we're getting an update for it.
And we gotta talk about it. We gotta dive. We gotta speculate. We gotta think about all the fan rumors, all the fan hype that's been going on.
We're not shitting on it. I'm not please. I'm not shitting on it. Just for the record, I know that was that was a bit. I'm not shitting on it. I'm also cautiously excited. I'm cautiously excited.
Zesty, you probably know more about what the community is expecting of this from me, because I've kind of tuned it out because I don't really care that much about MvM. I mean, it's fun, but people sent me this and they were like, "Oh, it's a big MvM update coming," and I was like, "Oh, really? What are they doing?" And they were like, "Oh, well, they're gonna do what they did to Casual, where they just flood a bunch of community maps in it, and it's harder to find the old experience." And I was like, "Got it. I don't really care then. I just don't."
Yeah,
I'm not into MvM. I'm not Wheezy TF2. You know, I don't.
Wheezy's
and I was never into. Yeah, he's super excited. I like, even if they add I've seen people "Oh, I can't wait. I hope they add more Australiums," and it's like this is like jangling keys, man.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, that's
even if they do that,
is.
Isn't that crazy that's the bar of a really great update? What if they add more gold guns I can buy? Hell yeah!
Well, dude, everyone is starved. I mean, at this point, you could dangle a lot of different shiny keys in front of the TF2 fan base, and it's, at least some people are gonna be like, "I don't care, man. I'll take it. I've been waiting in line.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me some scraps. Let's go."
Yeah, that's where a lot of people are right now. Is they're just excited because it's so okay. So let's rewind a moment. So
I didn't expect this much hype, by the way. When I heard that this was a big deal, I thought I wasn't gonna hear about it again. I kept hearing about it. It astonishes me that people care quite so much. I mean, I love MvM, but don't get me wrong, but
Richter,
it just seems so disproportionate.
Richter, let me clue people into what's actually happening in case they've been living under a rock for the TF2 sphere. All right, so what happened is Valve threw out a blog post, and in this blog post, if you decipher the almost incoherent millennial babble writing, there are 2 points to be gleaned from the blog post. The first is that TF2 is getting a man versus machine update around when Scream Fortress is going to come out. And then second, the very last line of the blog post says that there's going to be some part 2 to all of this that's going to come out just before the MvM stuff does. We have no idea what that means. We're not told anything. That's all we know. Anything beyond those 2 facts is completely speculation. We have no idea. Just for the record, okay? So,
wasn't there also some email exchange of the TF2 composer Mike Moraski said he was doing something with TF2 session files?
We have
and there was
no idea
a total people don't know. I saw people posting about that. I doubt it means anything. You might just be fucking with them for some reason, but it is interesting.
Yeah, we have no idea what that means. I mean, they could be opening a TF2 composition for a completely unrelated project. We have no idea why he's opening those projects. I'll post the screenshot of that as we talk about it. But we have no idea what that means. It could literally mean anything. So no fucking. I'm just kind of disregarding that as
great news. The next TF2 update will have another song that goes.
So I think the reason why people are so excited about this is because this is, for the first time in a very long time, something that's genuinely different, right? Because since 2018, it's just been the same copy and paste seasonal updates with just practically no deviation from Hatbox, maybe a Warpaint box, toss some maps in the game with brand new contracts. The only significant term used loosely difference is that they started doing it 3 times a year instead of 2 times a year. But it was still the same format. 1, maybe 2 boxes, maps, unusual effects, taunts, just more copy and paste off the workshop, give us your money, yada yada. This is the first time in 12 years that Valve has acknowledged the existence of MvM outside of like 3 or 4 patches. And very small tweaks or adjustments to like player communication, inspecting people's upgrades and things like that. Like no gameplay changes have happened since 2013.
They really like MvM. I think the devs love MvM. Every time they're doing a one of those little podcast appearances or whatever, they're always on MvM. So I think maybe anything to avoid interacting with the actual player base, maybe.
Yeah. I mean that's probably why they do it on those streams, because it's very easily sanitized and easy to control, right? Fewer moving parts.
I'm curious, Casual. Do you have a developed opinion about this as the resident MvM actual hater?
That's crazy. The MvM hater. I wouldn't say I'm a total hater, but I like your point that this is kind of sophisticated procrastination. We could say, what if Valve was getting a little energized, or whoever Valve is, quote unquote, whoever is on the actual TF team at any given moment in 2025. Like, it's kind of funny to think, hey, we're going to give you guys quality of life. We're going to give you some updates for MvM, for pastime, for Screen Fortress.
I know, right?
It's just like, but that's part of the genius of this too, I guess. We're talking about the hype going on right now, or like the social media buzz for this. I totally believe some amount of it is just because who could have predicted this? Who had in their list of, okay, top 5 things you think could happen for TF2 in 2025 is like Valve going, guys, it's happening. We're finally getting that next big MvM update. and you guys, you're going to bring the ammunition, right? Could you, I'm serious, maybe top 5, but definitely not top 3. Like, could any of you have predicted this?
No, this is the last thing that I would say the overwhelming majority of the player base was expecting. No, like most people had written off MvM as utterly abandoned by Valve because they just haven't done and no new content for it in over 10 years. So this is way out of left field. Way out of left field.
Which is in the nature of MvM, I guess, in the first place. We were joking about that a little bit, I think, last time, that MvM to begin with was kind of left field, kind of not something people probably could have predicted for the game to go in that direction.
Yeah.
That being said, what are you guys expecting from this update? Obviously, the duty is on the community, right? They're asking us to make stuff, right? Valve, what are they really? They're going to be like doing some little filtering of this goes, this doesn't, but it's on the community. What are you guys' expectations? What do you want to see happen? What are you afraid will happen?
So
give me the rundown.
I know that 99.999% of me expects that this is going to be nothing more than your usual copy and paste job. They're just going to take a few MvM maps with a tour each, throw them into the game. And there's no way they're not going to monetize it, right? They're absolutely going to let you buy the Tour of Duty tickets and do a tour on each of the maps they add, but then that's it. Like they'll probably offer the same Australians as rewards. If they recycle the bot killers, I will take that as a personal insult because those fucking suck. And then I think they'll probably leave it at that. And if we're expecting anything beyond that, I believe it's wasted energy. But 0.001% of me thinks that this is such a easily exploitable opportunity to load this up and monetize the fuck out of it. Part of me thinks there's no way that they're not gonna put some kind of new item. It is a
very, very trivial effort to make a new Australian.
It is.
And it's so much money.
And they don't even have to do the work. They can just take it off the workshop. People have done the work for them. Like, that's all they have to do. Like, put a shotgun, a market garden, fucking, I don't know, the fish.
They'll eat that up. Like, it'll be like, oh my god, for the first time, Valve added a new official item kind of thing, Like,
another month of content will come out of that item alone. Like, it's so easy. Like, there's no, like, but then again, this is
an
Valve,
entire
right?
new cycle, a new generation of YouTube shorts. What should they make Australia next now that they're doing it? Oh my god.
I know, right? I feel like, again, there's no way that they're not going to do something, right? But then again, this is Valve, right? This is Valve, and if the past 10 years are of any indication, it's just going to be another copy and paste job. But it
You
sucks.
asked about fears. Oh, sorry. Go on, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, no, you're good. But to me, it sucks because, like, this is so out of left field and so different and so new. Fucking MvM, really? And then, like, that part 2 line, this is the first, and also, like, more recent events that have been happening, like, you know, getting rid of the bots and unmuting free-to-plays, and, like, I don't want to have hope. Don't give me hope, Valve. Don't fucking do this to me. Like, I've not had any modicum of hope at all, and now I kind of have it again, because, like, okay, and this is I'm talking about positive things, right? I think the worst thing they can do is what I just said, is just copy and paste some maps, dump them in with nothing new, right? That's the worst thing that's going to happen, right? And we know the launch is going to be a shit show. Wheezy said this. The launch is going to absolutely be a shit show. Shit's going to be broken. It's going to be like at least a week before it's fully functioning and serviceable. Just expect that, because that's how it goes with every fucking update. Something breaks. So just that shouldn't be a bad thing. It's just normal. Now, I mean, it is a bad thing. It shouldn't happen. They should playtest this shit. But it is just going to happen. So expect it. Beyond that, that's going to be it. But then the new shit, this can go in so many directions. What do y'all think?
Right. I mean, yeah, you go for it, Richter. You had something to say earlier.
Oh, yeah. You asked about like fears. My fear, and I guess maybe I said it a little, a little cruelly earlier. I'm worried it's just going to be like I'm gonna have to turn into like an MvM purist, and they're gonna do like what they did with casual, where it's like as soon as a new person starts playing the game, they're like, oh, I don't know what to play. I'll queue for everything, and they get put into like fucking bubblegum candy, My Little Pony MvM or something. That's my worry. Hopefully. If I had to say what I want to see out of it, I want to see a degree of direction and curation. I want to see like an actual, if they're going to add a new tour, like mark it and make it make sense, make it have like some kind of theme, which it seems like it's like a Greek theme or something they're going for.
No, there's no theme.
They said something about fucking Greece in the update
like,
page. I don't know.
I
can't read that anymore. I can't read the
no,
the TF2 blog babble anymore. Like,
yeah, the incoherent millennial writing made no indication of a set theme. It was just like the whatever.
I appreciate that Eric Smith or whoever is like trying to keep that alive though, because it is a nostalgic element of TF2 when it was had a pulse, when it was funny.
I guess that was pretty bad writing though. Just my opinion on that.
Seemed pretty phoned in. Okay, guys. So
I think no, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I think there's a lot of room for the doom and gloom in some hilarity there. But I'm curious. We talked last time about how Valve often uses Team Fortress as kind of a testing grounds for new principles. And
what could they be testing though?
That's right. So I don't think it's gonna happen. I think realistically, what would I bet on? Okay, the community is gonna make some stuff. Some person is going to click. Okay, these go in. That's it. End of the day, whatever. Update. Play MvM. Shoot bots. But I'm just saying, if it were to happen, if we were to be blindsided again, in the same way that this update, the announcement could not have been predicted, if this could be some sort of testing of future technology or who knows, maybe there's something more behind it besides one guy at Valve who just loves MvM and that's it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's any possibility for something like that?
But like in my mind, what would they be testing other than some kind of new monetization system for a new game? Because that's just what they tend to do. And
the only thing I've heard that's interesting is about like the bot AI. I don't think they would change the way existing maps were, but I heard that and I was kind of like, oh, that could maybe be something I could entertain as like an interesting thing, but I don't know.
Actually am kind of inclined to believe that people at Valve probably are somewhat interested in doing something with TF, because you've seen like fucking Tyler McVicker saying like, oh, they have like a new string in Deadlock of they're trying to test shaders or something, see if they can make the TF2 visuals in Source 2 or whatever. So like I'm inclined to think maybe there's, to some extent, it might be possible this is them testing the waters. If we roll out like a new, I guess you could say it's like Team Fortress 2 gameplay experience, like gauge how much people will show up for that. I could see maybe if it was that, but I'm more inclined to believe that maybe they just they were really charmed by Wheezy TF2 and they're like, man, we got to make the guy a lot more money because he's so awesome.
Oh my god! I mean, I still can't see an ulterior motive other than what I expressed in a very short video on here on the second channel. Like the main question that we're addressing here is why? Why is Valve doing this? And I think the reason why is because they finally hit a wall with casual mode. Because last year, there were 167 maps in casual mode's rotation during Scream Fortress, and that broke the game. The matchmaking system just collapsed and didn't work. Like, Valve had to step in and throw on some band-aids because of how bad it got. That was the first time they touched the casual matchmaking system in like 7 years, right? So I think they learned their lesson from that. That's why we had like a more reserved Christmas map list, sort of, after that came out. But I think Valve's like, oh shit, adding 30 maps a year is not sustainable, and I think their answer to not add 30 maps a year into casual mode is now start adding more maps into man versus machine, because people now still like people now expect new gameplay content, and because that's just been the expectation that's been set in this cycle for years now. We're like, okay, if we can't put stuff in casual mode, MvM is the next best thing. And it got so bad because as the updates kept growing and growing and growing, it's like that scene at a Harry Potter with the fat kid where he's like, oh, what do you mean I only get 46 presents this year? I got 47 last year. So they had to keep outdoing themselves and adding more and more and more and more. And then it snowballed to where we're going to have, by the end of this year, maybe 200 maps in the casual mode rotation, if nothing changes. It's like, holy shit. Again, that's not sustainable and harms the matchmaking system. But this is where I think things can get interesting, and this might be finally an excuse or a reason for them to finally ship out improvements for casual mode in some capacity, because there's no way they can leave the system as it is right now, also load up stuff in man versus machine because it piggybacks off the same fucking game coordinator's casual mode. There's no way they can leave that shit as is and continue bloating it that way. I really hope, again, this is like massive, super nuclear levels of cope. Always bet on nothing. Nothing ever happens, I know. But they might actually do a casual overhaul. Because again, there's no way they can leave this fucking awful matchmaking system the way it is.
I have to appreciate that like jump scare too of like, that's right, we at Valve Software, we're bringing back that forgotten fan favorite way to play with friends and randoms for hours and hours. You know, that familiar communal experience devoid of pesky skill ranking systems. That's right, what you wanted, MvM. We're bringing that back. Like,
I mean, and I think that's what that part 2 might be. Is like, okay, they could do something to casual mode. Oh God, I hope.
I really hope so, man.
I really hope, man. It's like it's at this stage, that's like the best thing they can do for the game. And this update for MvM, because again, it's using the same game coordinator as casual mode. It's like the perfect opportunity for them to like quietly slip in improvements to like concede, yeah, we fucked up, but here you go.
It is a lot of the same like networking shit, right? Like it's
yes.
they built the casual system from the MvM queuing system, right?
Yes, exactly. It's basically a carbon copy of that matchmaking system. They just doubled the team sizes.
I don't know. You look at like we were talking last episode about like TF2 as a test bed for like all kinds of experimentation and stuff, and it's like there's some experiments that went really right and there's experiments that went really wrong. But if there was one experiment that, like, dear God, please undo this one. This one was just a complete fucking catastrophe. It's not any issue with MvM, okay? It's not like, I get it, you can't do anything about like fucking up the art style or anything like that, but just letting people experience like Team Fortress 2 in the classic way, like, that is all I think anybody could really ask of Valve that I think they kind of owe people to deliver on, because it's still a catastrophe. Like, we're still all frustrated with casual.
No, yeah, and like, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna chime in too to make it very specific too, because I feel like I've been on a huge TF2 kick lately. Like, I'm playing Medic like every night basically. The struggle with the casual experience, or one of the biggest struggles of it, is just that so many of the game modes are in this weird format of there not being enough time to actually play it. So basically, like 5 CP is like an entire game mode. There's kind of over a 50% chance that the game ends in like 5 minutes, because you have 2 rounds, and the first round people are just getting in the server, and then the second round half of them are learning the map because they haven't played the map before, and then it's over, so they never learn the map. So it's just little things like that that people might forget too if they're in their bliss of like constantly queuing bad water and Dust Bowl all the time, right? It's like, or Powerhouse, like those, they're safe havens that people cling to, but there's a lot of core TF2 that is just kind of not in a good state, let alone
It's fucking
things that disappeared, like arena mode,
Yeah.
let's say.
King of the Hill and 5CP
King of the Hill
are
too,
fucking
yeah.
unplayable. They're unplayable because of the 2-round
It's
limit.
like 2 minutes long. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and like, okay, so to pull a snippet from the quick play video that I'm working on, the matchmaking system right now offers at maximum 18-minute play sessions on King of the Hill, and that's assuming you're placed into the server right at the start of the game and the clock is completely run down for all 3 rounds for both teams, which just doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah, it's super rare.
Most of the time you're placed into the middle of an ongoing game that's already halfway over, and then it's over in less than 5 minutes. And then 5 control points, even more fucking polarizing, because games can last 2 minutes or 2 fucking hours. And in the event of a 2-minute game, sorry, everyone fucking leaves. That's all you get. Bye-bye. Like, the matchmaking system just fucking kills King of the Hill and 5 control point. And that's why everyone flocks to Payload, because it's and Dust Bowl, or any longer multi-stage map.
Right.
Because it's the only game modes or maps that offer more than 5 minutes of playtime consistently.
Zesty, weren't you were promoting like a survey from Mega Scatterbomb, and it
Yes,
said that
the
like
results for that came
99% of players wanted something.
The results for that
wasn't
came
like
out.
how casual it is
Yeah.
or something. Can you keep going about that?
Yeah, so if you want more details, I think the VOD from his stream is up on his channel. But the general results of that survey was that out of the 3,200 responses that we got on that survey, 1.3% think that casual mode needs no changes.
Yeah, you could get like 1.3% of people to say that like chocolate milk comes from like chocolate cows. So like you got to think about that a little bit.
Yeah.
1.3 is rough. I always like to do the visual. This is what we did back in the day when you could see the dislikes on a YouTube video. I'm sure there's like, you guys have your Google Chrome plugins for that now or whatever, but I always like to think of it as like the visual of the crowd of people, of like, okay, the 99 people in a room and the one person in the room. It's like, that's brutal. That's not a fair fight.
Yeah, the one guy in the that is
Like,
literally
I'm
it.
imagining it as an actual combat scenario.
Yeah, like the one guy in the room.
Yeah, because statistics don't mean anything. But then when you think about it, you're like, wait a minute. You're like 99 on 1. Like, geez, that's...
Yeah.
We know we're not taking that one that serious. I mean, come on.
So, like, overwhelmingly, like, most players are dissatisfied with the experience that casual mode currently provides. That's really, really significant and unignorable now, because like more and more people are talking about it. Valve themselves had to step in and put more band-aids on the broken system they've been propping up for years now. Like, to me, it's like there's not a more perfect time for Valve to step in and ship some fixes along with this MvM update. Like, again, I think they're gonna like use the hype of this MvM shit to kind of like very quietly push some improvements for they'll just have like casual matchmaking improvements. Like, oh, by the way, you have your team scrambles and shit back. That would
the
be
best
wild.
we could hope for. I mean, that would be great news.
That's what I hope for. That's like the number one thing I am praying happens. Because the fucking MvM shit, I don't really get. Like, if they fix casual, fuck that. I don't care about MvM. I get to play the game again.
I mean, great news for Wheezy, but
I mean, Wheezy, that man is going to be rolling in fucking bananas because all the money's going to make off.
They're giving him a fucking stimulus check.
Yeah, they are. It is a fucking like Valve government stimulus check for Wheezy. Oh my god, that man is going to be set for life.
What is?
Can we talk?
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you're good. I'm gonna.
I didn't have any. I wasn't going to say anything interesting.
I just wanted to dive into a little bit about the personality type of MvM players, because I think there's a thing going on there.
Ooh, this is something that I don't think a lot of people have been talking about. That's a good point to bring up.
Let's start talking about it, everyone, right? So, because I think, we all were there when the first MvM update happened and the subsequent updates and missions that they added. And, you're a TF2 player. I'm sure you guys, we played the updates, you know what I mean? You queued up, maybe you even got a good amount of time in it. I definitely remember in the first year or whatever since MvM being added, I played it through. I really did. And I think everybody did just for the hell of it, to new content for TF2. But then the interesting thing was to see as time went on and as things did not continue to be added.
Who stuck around?
That's right. Who are those crazy
stuck
people
around the whole time?
Oh, and they built their metas and they got their little clicks, and you're like, hey, Jacob, what's up, man? What are you doing? And you're like, oh, you're on your 178th tour? Like, what what's wrong, man? What's
Some
going on?
people
So
have
that's
thousands.
I want to get your guys' perspective first. What do you? Because you guys aren't those guys, right? I'm not that
No,
guy.
I mean,
No.
So
I have. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
you
You
have
got a
have.
golden
friends,
pan though.
probably.
You got a golden pan though, Zesty. You experienced
Well,
like the zenith of that.
I mean, I got lucky. So I only have like 132 cities tours, and that's accumulated over, a decade. So
I don't think I have that. I have like 4.
yeah, and then I got a gold pan, so I win. But where was I going with this? Yeah, so the ones that have stuck around, and the ones that
right.
are and the one that I think I'm surprised more people aren't concerned about this is like the more toxic types that are there to grind and win as quickly as possible. And because like you said, Casual, they have like established their metas to farm tours as quickly as possible
Right.
to maximize the frequency of their item drops. So that's one very large. I think that makes up the majority of the people that still stick around in MvM. I think very few people stick around because they genuinely enjoy playing the game mode. Like Wheezy. Wheezy is a certain type of autism where he is totally fine just playing MvM because he loves the game mode. He doesn't care about the loot. He cares about playing the game mode and genuinely enjoys it. But then you have like oh my god, I have a
Grinders.
memory has awoken. I'm pulling this from the back of my head here. In like 2017, 2018, I was playing MvM and some guy was fucking seething in the game. I don't remember exactly why, but I was recording it and he was fucking losing his shit over probably someone using a wrong upgrade or what have you. And I recorded that and put it on YouTube and it fucking pissed him off. He was having a fucking meltdown over it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, they come in various names. They used to go by like the Taco Bot group. I don't know what the fuck they go by now. I
Some
think
MVM clans? Are we talking? That's amazing.
Yeah, have you ever heard of these guys?
No, I have. I'm
You've
not familiar
never
with the
heard of them?
clans.
Okay,
Dude.
so the Taco Bot group is a very notorious group of MvM players that essentially exists to be the most hardcore purists possible to basically grind 2 cities tours as quickly as they can to get as many Australian drops as possible. And they had like a black notebook, a shit list of players that they would mark as like kick on sight because of one petty reason or another. Like, for example, they put me on that list because I got a gold pan and they were mad at me. Or if you play Pyro and use the gas passer, they automatically kick you because they consider the gas passer cheap and easy. Things like that.
That was always so funny to me that the people who would argue it's like looking into like a zoo for me whenever I hear about MvM, because people having like ethics debates on Reddit of like how unethical was it to cheat in MvM during the fucking bot crisis. Like it's just great. Like the dilemmas people are like wrestling with are so funny.
That was insane, man. But yeah, and so MvM has a certain level of notoriety now because it's gone on so long with new content, and it's just been the same people playing it over and over again. And it's now known for being a haven for small toxic groups.
It's probably the people shooting for the moon that are very financially item materialism motivated, and then there's that, as we're mentioning, the wheezy type of autism, like, oh, just let me get in the garage and start playing with these gears and bolts, like, oh yeah, I'll go all day.
Yeah, that's
I think there's a good mix of both those types of people, but it's funny to me that the loser, kind of regardless, is just the most normal player, like the guy who wants to check out MvM. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like you
guy,
get in.
What's this? Yeah,
and they get in, and you have some fucking bloated fuck screaming at you like, "You're not using the right gun! Kick him! Monkey pyro! Monkey pyro!" And they fucking
he missed $5. The scout missed $5. Fucking kick him.
Dude, that's the worst pain, dude. Being the scout, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that.
Have you ever?
That's gonna be wild to see.
One of the worst pains of my life. I was like, I was on like, I think I played Scout, and we were at the end of one of those little missions, and I missed like $40 or something by the end. And right before the mission was gonna end, they fucking kicked me. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's
it's the worst.
brutal. That's like some school bullying tactic.
It is
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are. I mean, they're like just bullying man children that kick you or like bitch at you or like intentionally throw.
It's because I feel like
they don't get their way.
In the environment in TF2 where you're actually meant to be going at each other, they're not that angry. It's when you have to work together they get pissed off. It's like really funny.
Oh no, yeah, because they want their money. They want their reward at the end of it all, and they want to do it as quickly as possible. And when you're a hindrance to that or an inconvenience, they view you as an obstacle, and you must be removed.
A long time ago, Jerma said that like he still thinks of MVM as like the best or like one of the best like PvE experiences, and like I haven't played many of them, but I kind that makes me maybe think that maybe the PvE genre is not very fun if that's true because I like MVM, but like I played like I when I was growing up I played Killing Floor and I thought that was like really fun. I would rather play Killing Floor
Well, yeah.
than MVM if nothing else because like I don't have to spend like $5 to get like 43 cents worth of like robot cranks. Like it just feels a little less transactional, and I'm obviously
Okay.
getting fucked, you know. So
Yeah.
Can we
like,
talk about how crazy that is?
yeah,
Can
that
we
is
talk
nuts.
about can we talk about the
Yeah.
whole manufactured, rehabilitated, refurbished you know what I'm talking about? The fabricator. Oh, let me get all my robot parts. Dude, that
Yeah.
was the craziest
My rusty
part.
crank, the 3 cent crank you have to find. Aren't you so hyped for your crank?
And then you have to get like 20 of them in order to make something that's worth 30 cents. It's great.
That's the part that you definitely didn't want like your close friends or family to know about. You know, when the initial MVM update dropped, like probably okay so far you might have dabbled in trading servers, already a little insane and embarrassing when you think about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haggling for digital items, but at least it's kind of it's still kind of literal, like here's this hat, here's this weapon. But then this is like straight to them embracing the like abstract TF2 economy, like, oh, you guys
Mobile
like
game,
this
fucking.
yeah, you like scrap metal and reclaimed metal. Well, check this out. We got all kinds of metal gook for you now. Like,
I
it's
remember
crazy, right?
distinctly like the first time playing MVM, and you hear like, dude, you can get these like robot guns and like crazy shit. You can get like cool ass items, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let me play this. And I did my first tour, and by the end, it's like I'm getting rewards, and it's like, oh, I got this like crank thing, and you like, okay, you click on it, like view community listing, and it's like. It's literally not even worth 1 cent. It's like, oh my fucking god!
And
This is
it's
like a
not even,
scam.
and
Oh
it
my
serves
God.
no purpose, right? It serves
Well,
no purpose
forget the
other than to
value.
create kill streak kits. Like that's all it exists to be. It's yeah, and it's so wild that people so religiously farmed these things to make kill streak kits.
All those little 1 cent transactions for Valve every time you
Yep.
put something on the market. You know, I guess that's
it adds
the
up.
mission.
They make money. The penny stocks, baby. That's where the money is for Valve. Is all the penny stocks. They get shitloads of. They get way more money. Okay, so
I believe it.
they get way more money from the sheer volume of what are effectively penny stock transactions than anything worth more than say a key. Just because the sheer volume of transactions that happen, and that's just through the community market, right? Then you have to take into
Dude, in those
consideration.
days, too, we had to make all the kits. Nowadays, it's all everybody's reaping the rewards of the previous generation. There's so
Yeah.
many of them in the economy just flowing around. Back then, it was like, oh, I can't
to
buy one.
make
They don't
this.
exist. Time to break out the robot parts.
Yeah,
It's
and then if you
crazy.
had to, if you wanted to go out of your way and buy one, you had to pay a ridiculous price, like $5 for a specialized kill streak decreaser kit. What? Nowadays, they're like 30
this
cents.
guy made it, bro. This guy put all the effort in, so you got to pay a premium surcharge for
Oh my God.
cutting the corners of the labor to make your shiny weapon.
Yep. Oh my God. So
Okay,
like,
let's get a little. Oh yeah, no, go for it.
well, no, you go ahead because this might go into something I want to talk about. Go ahead.
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well,
Mine's
it's
too
it's
tangential.
related to item stuff, right? And more items because I wanted to touch on this a little bit more. Where again, Valve can't be so dumb as to not put in more or new items, right? And at minimum, they're just going to recycle the same items that we've already been farming for 12 years. I feel like if they don't give some kind of new incentive, significantly fewer people are going to buy in because not that many people are interested in just playing MvM for the sake of playing MvM.
Get the items.
Most people
Oh,
were
I
originally
see.
incentivized because they want the gold gun.
Right.
So we'll see what they do. And we know at minimum that they're probably going to recycle the existing Australians because they recently, and I mean very recently, added a week-long trade cooldown on gold pans once they drop. So they probably did that in anticipation of putting that back in the drop pool for whatever these new MvM tours are going to be. So expect that at least. But anything on top of that, who knows?
Yeah, who knows is right. I just want to say the whole Australian thing, and maybe Richter can chime in on this. I feel like there's not enough community fantasies about silver weapons or like platinum
It's
weapons.
so funny you mentioned that, dude. Oh
Let's
my
hear it.
god. Okay, I was hanging out with Starry Crow last night, and that's exactly what he wants. He's like, I don't fucking
Well,
care
thank
about
God.
gold. I want silver. I want platinum.
Dude,
It's like,
shout out Starry Crow. I
yeah.
mean, that's good rep for him.
Fucking-
His stock is raising in my mind.
And I mean, I agree. I mean, gold is cool, but like a silver gun would be neat. A platinum
Well,
gun would be neat.
Well, this is like it's such an art style problem too, because it's like, think about jewelry, and you talk to any woman who really has a sense of style. It's like they know what type works for them, right?
Yeah.
There's some gorgeous women that they just can't wear gold jewelry. It doesn't look right on them. They have to wear silver jewelry or platinum or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
And so with TF2's art style, I feel like TF2 is like should be wearing silver. I don't know. Like you look at the stock team
Museum.
design, yeah, and make up some goofy name or whatever. But I just think that's for me the whole time gold was like I like wanted to want it, because expensive items, the shininess alone I thought was cool. But I think it's like it makes me feel like I have to be an Australian gold guy. It's like before the Australian items, how many of us out there were Australian gold paint people? Some of us, maybe 10-15% had an Australian gold loadout or whatever, but it just wasn't me. I was into some of the other paint colors, what I mean? Some of the other, it just felt a bit intense. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I
agree.
just I think about all that stuff is just like so and I don't mean to be too negative here, but I remember I got like a Australian Tommy Slav. It was like the first time I like turned a profit on MvM, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, I guess I have to use this because I had like a sentimental now. My first thing, I'm looking at it. It's like
so
puke.
expensive.
It looks like fucking puke. And I remember at some point I opened a fucking stocking and I got a Festivizer. And I put the Festivizer on the Australian Tommy Slav. It was the most fucking just god awful looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm totally I'm hostile to weapon accessories and shit now. It's like this is a fucking disaster. Nothing in the game should look like an Australian Festivized Tommy Slav. It's a fucking eyesore.
Yeah, the way they I mean, you said this before, Richter, is that the way they executed Australians could have been done a lot better. So where it's actually like a proper good gold color that fits in TF2 with with a good proper shine. But the way they did it makes it just not look very good at all.
And that's so telling, right? Like think about how good the shaders in launch TF2 look, and then look at the shaders on the Australian. Really think about that for a second. Think about how much worse they are. Like it's crazy.
But Richter, let's say the shaders were good. Let's say the shaders were bad, right? Either way, would you push the button to make all the Australians silver?
I would push the button to just get rid of them. Like
you're not answering the question. I know you would. I would too.
Yeah, I would make them silver. It would be an improvement.
Okay. Team Silver. Let's get those silver items. I want to see those posts on r/TF2, and that's gonna segue me into the next crazy idea that I just had to talk about today. Because I tried to think about it for a sec. I thought, okay, we got to talk about this MvM thing. I'm like, I gotta like actually brainstorm on this for a moment because it's not a place where my inspiration naturally goes. But you know what I thought? I was like, if I had to play MvM again, you know what I'm really missing out on? I need aircraft. I need like drones. I need little helicopter bots.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. There's been like VScript MvM and shit. People have fucked around with like trying to make more enemy types and stuff. That would be cool. I would actually be excited if they included something like that in the update. That would be cool.
Dude, that brings up a very good point. There is a deep, infinite well of potential for just normal, quote unquote, normal vanilla MvM, right? And by normal vanilla, I mean excluding potential Halloween or Christmas themes or like an offshore theme, what have you. Which
is crazy, by the way. Holiday themes. Yeah. Go on.
I'll get back to that in a second. But like, just there's so many potential combinations of class, weapon, what have you, bosses, what to make completely unique waves of robots, right? Flying ones, what have you. There's so much that people can make and have already made. There's already such a massive well of good content to pick from and put it in the game as is. And like, flying robot variety or other kind of robot variety, like the potential is there. It can be done. The problem is that this is Valve. And part of me is genuinely terrified that they're immediately going to lean into holiday slop. Like we're gonna get waves of like little cute Krampuses or pumpkin
How
men.
did this happen?
Like
Bro,
I
don't
like,
say that.
there's like I hope they don't do that. Like there's no reason for them to do that when there's already so many good MvM maps on the workshop and with amazing waves that just play like normal MvM. Like that's easy to pick.
Yeah,
But
the actual the blog post I think says that they don't want it to be all MVM. They
True,
want to have
true,
like
but-
a couple MVM ones.
No, yeah,
I'm
exactly,
sorry,
right?
I mean Halloween. Sorry.
no, yeah, and that's exactly right. Like they say they could be Halloween themed. They're not explicitly looking for Halloween themed maps, but it's still I'm still scared. It's like, okay, here we'll have like 6 normal ones and then like 6 Halloween ones, and then we're gonna get like Halloween reskins of existing
Speaking of,
MvM maps, and then Christmas reskins of the Halloween reskins of the existing MvM maps. Oh god, I hope not.
Speaking of Halloween MVM, do you guys have like a developed opinion about Wave 666? I just remember it being kind of upset that was the first like zombie TF2 representation, because they're just robots but with like they're still carrying guns and stuff. They're not really zombies. I thought that was sad that it was just a MVM reskin. I remember that because they had a cool like Night of the Living Dead inspired poster for it. It looked like a zombie update.
Yeah.
It was just MVM with, except they have blood instead of oil or whatever.
Yeah, if they
Do you have
made
an
them
opinion
like
about any of that stuff, Casual? You remember when it came out?
Yeah, I just don't have a crazy opinion. I mean, I think for me, TF2, again, part of what appealed to me about it was the fact that it wasn't a zombie game and that it wasn't a robot game when I started playing. Because there was other games that are zombie games and there's other games that are robot games, you know. So I was like, oh, this is cool. This is kind of my lane. A little more realistic. I'm in the locker room with the calendar and everybody looks like a human. I'm like, this is cool. So I think I'm sure it could have been done better in whatever way you're imagining, but plead the fifth
Fair
on
enough.
that
Fair
one.
enough.
I mean, there was a cool opportunity there to make them like behave something like zombies, where they just made them run really fucking fast, and they were all melee based or something, and so they behaved like true zombies. That would have been cool. There's a potential for that. Someone can make that. Hello,
You could V-script that shit. Somebody could
V-script
go
that
crazy.
shit. Yeah, someone
That's
can do
why I
it.
don't want to be a total doomer here too, because if it's on the community, I think okay, well, like just plant. Let's try to plant good seeds for the people who are grinding their
You
ass
just-
right now to make an MVM map or whatever, you know.
Yes,
Because bless
and-
those people's intentions.
And you
Well,
know what? I
here's
want
the
to
thing,
see.
here's the thing, though.
I want to see. By the way, just really quickly,
Yeah.
Zesty. I want to see MVM maps that look like TF2. Go
That's
look
what-
at
me
fucking
too!
Decoy in Coal Town. I want to see maps that are like in that fucking
Oh,
desert, because
please.
it's been too long that TF2 has been about fucking Imperial Japan or something. Like, let me see.
Just look
some
at
good
any map
TF2, bro.
added to the game before 2012, like, and you're
And just,
fine.
yeah, make your MvM maps look like that, please. Like, we don't need a fucking Odyssey or Phoenix MvM style
and
map. Just
truthfully,
please.
It'll make it more timeless too, because for every Odyssey or Phoenix out there's like 10 maps that people don't really care about that are ugly. So
Yes, and it's oh my god, and people love the original aesthetic of TF2 so much, and whenever you get a good map that looks that way, it's like, man, this is great. Just do that for
love
MvM,
it.
please. Do it for MvM. And yes, we like this is a really good opportunity for people to make really amazing stuff, and I hope people do. I know people will. But again, this is Valve. They tend to pick from the same people. They tend
And
to
it
have
should
piss poor
be-
quality control,
it
which
should
makes
be
me doubt that
overall,
they're going to
like-
make good decisions.
It should be a great experience, a nostalgic experience, like coming back to MVM. It's in the interest to make that feel like I'm getting more of the early MVM
Yeah.
experience, right?
it's like, oh, guys, remember MVM? Yeah. Summer of 2012?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
make it feel like that.
It's
Don't make it,
back.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
but
going to be my joke earlier. It's like, guys, or me telling my old buddy who got me into TF2 hasn't played in like 10 years. I'm like, dude, guess what? They're bringing back MVM. You got to get on. Which is, the joke is that he'd be like, what? He would feel really out of touch. He'd be like, dude, did I misread the situation the whole time?
So like to that point,
Wait, Casual, really quickly. So one of the comments under the last episode said you should bring that guy on the podcast as a guest.
Dude, that guy's a
I think
beast.
that'd be
I would-
really
I would-
funny.
I would love to. Yeah, we'll see.
yeah,
We'll
have
see.
him on. We can bring the guest TV and put it on top of mine. But to that point you just said, Casual, in that now I lost what I was gonna say. Shit, I was on the.
I'm
talking
sorry.
about
I'm sorry.
false-
I'm
damn
sorry.
it.
False nostalgia and being all like, dude, don't you remember
Oh
this?
no,
MVM?
yes. So like the thing that still baffles me, and like we touched on this when we started, is like not that many people are into MvM. And part of me
pretty
thinks
niche.
it is niche.
Yeah.
It is niche. Not that many people play it, and not that many people were like super excited about it for very long after the update initially came out. So part of me thinks like, is this gonna be a flop? Like people are gonna go, oh, MvM, that thing I already really don't. It's like you said, it's like updating pastime or updating manpower. It's like people are gonna look at that and go, oh, cool, I guess, and then they're not gonna touch it. And the only way they would get people to touch it is like with new shiny items or something. But part of me thinks that it's gonna be a flop.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good point. I mean that's why it is just a little weird.
It is.
The first time it came around, it was weird, but there was all this sense in the air of, well, I haven't tried it. What's it going to be like? You know what I mean? But now, I'm sure there's people listening to this that are, good-spirited TF2 super fans who just don't love MvM. You know what I mean? And that's I would say I'm kind of in that boat. Like I don't wake up with nightmares like, oh, stop it, the cash and the robots. Enough. I don't really think about it, but it's just.
No,
and maybe it'll be great, but it's kind of then up to that super niche faction to love it or not, and like how much of a win or fail
so
will that
fans,
be.
you better spend all your money so the rest of us can fucking, maybe
yeah,
we'll
we need a
update.
comprehensive review.
Weezy's gonna have us covered. I'm sure he's gonna fucking go hard on making videos about whatever they add. But like that's my fear is like, okay, this might amount to nothing more than like a pathetic whimper of like, okay, here's some new MvM maps, and then it's just like, oh, okay, and it's gonna go immediately forgotten. Especially if they don't make it like, again, if they don't incentivize people to go in and play these things, it's like who's gonna give a shit, right? Like a lot of people I feel like are giving less and less of a shit for new maps in general. Like it's gonna be the novelty of, oh, here's MvM stuff for the first time in a decade, but people already know what MvM's all about. Like you said, it's not new, it's not novel anymore. It's like, oh, this is MvM, okay.
Well, don't worry though. You know what? I actually think there is a lot of room to make it kind of fucking like silly and insane, and so you'll probably see like fucking what's the big ass fucking doughboy from like
the tire
Ghostbusters?
mascot?
Oh, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, you'll see the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in MvM soon, and that'll be entertaining for like a year.
Oh my god. Yeah,
and
maybe.
I feel like the community, I think
that'll be a viral Twitter post. I'm sorry to
give
interrupt you,
surprises.
Casual.
No, go for it.
Yeah, that'll be a giant Twitter post with 50,000 likes. Like, bro, what did Valve add to TF2, bro?
Dude, Valve's
And
playing the
everyone
long
would be like,
game.
They're
it's really
playing
about
the long game with fucking
it's
MvM
really about
updates.
the Twitter posts. It's really about having a good little meme that gets 100,000 likes by people who don't play the game. I mean, that's marketing. That's real.
True, but like, I don't think MvM's gonna bring people in.
No,
MvM's not gonna be bringing the players back. I'm just saying that right now.
Dude, I want to entertain that crazy screwed up timeline though, where like TF2 becomes what's the term I'm looking for? Where like a huge corporation takes over a small wholesome town and like buys all the businesses. What do they call that?
Is there a proper term for that?
Yeah, they call it all of you are going, it's this. It's not de-enfranchisement. It's when they oh my god.
I don't know.
The joke depends on the word. It's the one where you lament the small business because now it's all chains.
I don't know. I don't know this word.
The town loses its culture. The cool neighborhood in the city is not cool anymore because it's been bought by
gentrification.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. I'm just saying, how funny would it be if TF2 got like gentrified by a huge wave of like PvE MvM super fans?
Wouldn't that be insane?
I'm like, it's not our game anymore. It's like, oh, TF2, you mean that? Yeah, that
one. You mean the PvE game everyone's talking about right now? The newest hit craze?
The importance of mobile. It's already primed to be a mobile game.
Dude, that would be that would be so funny.
You know what? That could be Valve's master fucking play here, because you have shit like Helldivers and Deep Rock Galactic and other PvE games that are exploding in popularity and are doing pretty well right now. Maybe Valve is looking at that and going, oh, we did that 12 years ago. Let's just make it big again. And then they're going to draw in a whole new audience, and then TF2 is going to become the PvE game. Maybe that's their master plan here.
I'm ready to watch Kai Cenat like freak out in his chat.
That is not how you say that man's name. That is not how you say his name. Kai
time to-
CNET? Oh my god, you people are fucking old.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know
It's
who Kai
time to
CNET
kill a
is? Or is it
robot.
Kai's? Oh, actually, I might not even know it. But it's
I-
definitely not
Dude.
Kai CNET. That's like insane.
I don't know who that is. Who is this?
Bro.
Who is
You
this
know what I'm
person?
talking about.
Kai CNET, he's like the biggest,
know,
like one
I
of the
Show
biggest Twitch,
Speed?
whatever.
You know,
Oh,
I know
it's
I
a-
Show
it's
Speed,
a-
yeah.
It's a streamer. I don't know. If
I
it's
Show
a streamer,
Speed.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like really normcore
Guys,
streamers
see that?
having like weird product placement. Like, all right, guys, let's get on TF2. Let's kill some bots. You know, like I just think that'd be awesome. And it would never happen. But this is how you have fun in life, right? When things are a little boring, the news, or you can't
You're
quite make
imagining
up your mind about it.
Not playing.
God,
fucking,
could you
MvM.
imagine if TF2 became that mainstream, where you had like
Exactly.
the biggest fucking streamers touching the game and acknowledging it and like flooding tons of people in here? That would be wild.
Valve could easily make stuff like that happen. By the way, because like people love like you just mentioned, I Show Speed. He like plays like Gmod and shit. He's done like Nextbot Gmod and shit. Like there's
I didn't know how clued in you were. That's interesting.
yeah there's like people want it's a good framework for viral gaming, I guess. And Valve, if they wanted to put a lot of eyes on something and make it go viral, they easily can. They could be more, tapped in if they wanted to be.
They could if they wanted to.
Yeah, but they're so comfortable with where they are now, like they'd have no reason to do that.
No, it's not. It's not very much their style to shill their stuff that hard, unfortunately, or do.
It absolutely is.
Campaigns.
It's just they tricked everybody into thinking it's not, and now they're lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it then.
Well, I mean, they basically spearheaded the best kind of marketing a video game could get, and that's an international
Okay, true.
sport.
No, I'm just
right?
Yeah, referring to the
Like-
last era here. But yeah, you're right. They were.
But no,
experts
yeah,
at it.
like the current era of marketing games, Valve is not really up with the times on that one. You know, they're not so gung ho with the crazy collaborations or like putting a celebrity in your game or.
They invented it though. They invented it.
Oh, they
put
did?
Fucking, what's his name? Tom Jones or whatever in TF2 comics and fucking.
Okay, well that's a comic.
Batman,
That's not the
Batman,
game.
and fucking
Yeah,
Batman and
huge move.
yeah, but they put fucking heavy Batman and fucking Dovahkiin Skyrim heavy. So
No,
they
yeah,
invented
sure,
that.
but those, I mean, yeah,
Fortnite
that's
is
true.
really just Fortnite is just doing what TF2 did, but they're
way extreme. Way
yeah,
to
they're
the extreme.
capitalizing on like a formula that Valve invented, and everybody pretends that like TF2 didn't do it. They just pretend.
And also,
like,
Fortnite is
Yeah.
necessarily shameless, but that's also how you have to be nowadays too in internet marketing and social. There's that next level of complete shamelessness you need to be like, I'm selling you something.
Yep.
that
Mr. Beast is in this. Look,
That's right.
Completely
You can finesse it
unapologetic.
more.
Fuck you. Take it. We're selling this to you right now. I don't care what you think. This is the product. Buy it. And then people will.
So Zesty, if you got like hired as a contractor by Valve, this would never happen. But if you
Yeah.
got hired by and they're like, we're hiring you specifically to captain this MvM update, and you're like, guys, what if we made some fixes to casual? And they're like, nope, you can't do it. Sorry, bro, not your job. You're just Mr. MvM, okay?
My
Steering this
God.
update. I know, big responsibility, big life direction switch.
Yeah,
but,
huge.
but meditate on it for a sec. How would you handle that responsibility?
Shit. I mean, I think ultimately, I think it would have to be treated like a new launch all over again, because this is again something that people haven't acknowledged or touched in over a decade. So it would have to be like, reanimating a dead corpse. And how like, okay, then how do we make a thing people have done to death interesting again? That's like that would be the main challenge.
There'd
And
be some necessary innovation, you see. You
I
couldn't
mean-
just ship out generic MVM maps again, basically.
Yeah, generic MvM maps are not going to cut it. Like if I'm going from like a pure marketing standpoint, I want people to come and play this. Just doing the same shit people are used to is not going to bring people in. You have to go fucking crazy with the bots there. Like people are tired of fighting like the giant crit soldier or like the 500 bumblebee scouts with the Sandman bat. Like no, they need some new shit to fight. I think that's
right.
the best angle, is some new crazy shit to fight. Bosses that are actually challenging. Things like that. Like, and if you make the maps look marginally good and acceptable, and you make them adhere to the art style, please, thank God, I would ensure that. I'd pick some interesting things, but I wouldn't pick the fucking what did Richter say? The unicorn like bubblegum MvM map. I would avoid that crap.
Wario's
Right.
Funhouse.
Yeah, Mario Wario Funhouse crap like that. No, I would avoid that. But I'd focus
Getting
on
some new enemies. That's good.
Yeah, new enemies has to be the big thing. Otherwise, people are not going to give a fuck. Like, oh boy, another 30 scouts to shoot at. Awesome,
Guys,
that sucks.
I want to see I want to see airborne bots. I want to see submerged bots on one. I want to see one gimmick map with a river where there's like fish bots.
Like a
I wanna
boat, the
see
bots are
bird-
on or
I
something.
want to see. I want to see bird bots and fish bots.
I want to see
And
mobile
maybe
sentry guns. I want some crazy shit.
Dude, some sentry spider fucking hybrid.
Yeah, I think
creature.
if it was
Yeah.
me, I would want it to be a
New
get
enemy
weird.
types.
Oh, sorry, so.
New enemy
I
types.
said let's get weird. You go, Richter.
Oh, yeah. If it was me, I would want to do like a full-on overhaul of the robots and make them look like actually really good because the designs were never that great. And I would fucking. You gotta just look at like what's popular that's doing this right now, and it's like Helldivers and Destiny 2. So I would sit there and I would play those games. I'd figure out what is making them go viral. I think with Helldivers, it has like this sort of community narrative thing going on where it's like the developers are developing content as events happen in the game. So if like players fail to defend this location, then they actually mark that out as like completely done. Maybe look at like those crazy business models that are working and are keeping community super engaged.
Yeah.
And yeah, just new maps and new opponents. Like, yeah, it would be really fun to fight airborne. I don't know how good the source engine is for it, but airborne robots.
Oh, people will figure it out.
You know, river fights, all kinds of exotic stuff like that. And top it all off with like make it feel like a creative effort and like a real a rekindling. Make some like shitty SFM short and you know, have Gary Schwartz come back and go, fucking they've got to kill the robots. Oh my god, you know, just for the old time's sake, you know.
Oh my god. No, yeah, I mean that's the big point, is like give it a sense of community like it once did, because like the hype around MvM was such a deep-seated community event that like still, you know, sits in people's minds because it was a big fucking deal. Reignite that again. Get people hyped for an update again, like they used to, you know, like drop some fucking teasers and of course
and then QA it.
Has to be good.
Please God, QA
yes,
it.
Oh
please.
my fucking god. Test your shit. Please test your fucking shit. Make sure it works so the launch isn't ass. For the love of God, just do that once, please.
Do you remember 2 weeks waiting for fucking Saxton
yes,
to work in casual? Oh my fucking
weeks
god!
It didn't work, and then Zombie Infection was like almost 2 weeks, because all the bugs and shit they had to fix. Like,
Dude,
just
it's never gonna happen, man.
I know it's not gonna happen, but oh my god, just fucking test your crap. Don't just throw it in.
Imagine if Fortnite didn't work for 2 weeks. Like, oh my, it'd be riots.
I know.
How
is that
Fortnite
acceptable?
Would be over.
How is that acceptable in TF2? Seriously, it shouldn't be. Right, seriously, dude, let that happen in any other fucking video game. There, you said there would be fucking hit my mic. There would be fucking riots. People will be losing their fucking minds. Wow, they pushed out an update that's broken and doesn't work. That's just another day for us in TF2 land. We're used to it. No, Valve's a great company, guys. You better cup their balls as they take a shit next time. Thank God they're giving us content at all. Ah!
Zesty, what do you think of the viability of in-person protests and unrest at the Valve Bellevue office and whatnot?
I don't want to.
I'm sure you thought about it a little bit. I'm not encouraging anybody. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that Discord.
You're fucking escalator casual. Jesus.
It is a very quick way for them to slam the door in your face. I think it is a very quick way.
I mean, it's level or floor 8 or something. I mean, you can't just knock on the door. You know, they got the reception and the
yeah. You have to be out in front of the building, and even then,
but that's yeah. I mean, you know, but even then, I guess that's, you know, what could you do down there just hanging out at the bottom of the building?
Well, in recent memory, that guy went over there for either save TF2 or fix TF2. Some guy dressed as the scout went over there.
One scout.
One guy went.
Bro, we need an army, dude. This is we could do better than that. But tell us about the guy. Yeah.
If memory serves, because it's been a little while, he like a security guard told him like, yeah, you can't be within the lobby. You have to like stay outside and like a certain distance away from the door. And he didn't do anything. He just like stood there with a sign and like was totally like super chill. And
I think he had the right idea, though. I mean, you know, trying to defuse the situation slightly with the scout cosplay.
Yeah,
you know,
like if you go, like if you were gonna do it, like if I'm not, for the love of God, I'm not condoning this. Please, for the love of God, I'm not condoning this.
Also, what's wrong with? I mean, I'm just saying too. We're just talking about a peaceful protest here, right?
But like, I mean, you know, that's my point. Like, if you're gonna do it right, do it like be cordial about
follow
it.
the law.
Fuck, you guys are
Follow the law,
fostering
right?
anti-Valve extremists. I didn't realize this was
Well,
a
no.
radical podcast.
Well, see,
No,
that's
I'm
what I
just
mean.
saying-
That's what I have to worry about, right? Because like someone could
No,
very
come
easily
on.
misconstrue it and say, "Oh, Zesty's condoning people firebombing Valve's offices." Like, you have to be very careful with this conversation.
Yeah, you just have to, but you have to understand real world change too, because I know that there's the people like that out there, but the people try to mobilize. They do all this save TF2 stuff and they do all the tweeting and all that.
My
and I'm
question for you right now, Casual, is like, why, like, what about TF2 is so urgent right now that it needs that, like, quick play? Or
Oh,
something?
I don't think it's urgent.
No, it's a
right now.
hypothetical.
But I'm just saying, I think there are moments in TF2's history where it becomes more or less urgent. Like for example, I'm just saying, if there was a organized mass, peaceful protest, let's say of like 150 to 200 TF2 cosplayers in front of the Valve office in 2018 or 2019 about the bot crisis, I just think it would have been. You got people in the sniper cosplay pointing the
spinning
obviously
around.
fake Nerf gun to the sky and spinning around, right, and doing the crouch humping sniper motion, right? I just think that gets things done in a different way, and we haven't done it. But I'm just saying, because we're talking about like how upset with the Fortnite fans.
We should
be or whatever.
definitely all
So,
play with
Casual.
toys outside of Valve's offices. It's a really good use of your time.
Yeah, Casual.
Well, better
You're
than
hitting on a good
posting on
point here.
Twitter.
You're hitting on a very good point here, where if something of similar magnitude of the bot crisis was happening in any other game more popular than TF2, that is what would happen. People would be going to their offices and like doing some kind of in-person protest of like the mistreatment of the game. TF2 has been.
I need an example here, because I just think people don't care about modern games that much. Like, would people really do that?
Don't
for, like, Fortnite?
no. People like, okay, imagine if Fortnite just became unplayable.
They would just go play fucking Marvel Rivals.
No, they
and jerk
wouldn't.
off.
No, they wouldn't. People would fucking lose their
Maybe
shit.
I'm wrong. I don't know.
People would go
I think
fucking
I think
rabid.
you're both right, and I think that's what I'm suggesting as the solution. Because I think Zesty's saying people would be very upset, and Richter's saying, yeah, but would they be that upset? And I'm saying they would be upset, but they wouldn't be sophisticated upset. You know what I mean? They're gonna be very upset online and in their like it's. Because I don't think there would be a big protest or something. I don't think people would go to the office. But I'm kind of saying maybe they should if they want something to change. Because it's like, try making a point in the sea of noise and online discourse and social media. You know what I mean? It's like people say something about Valve online 1,000 times a day forever. Whereas like, if there was, a big group of people, it's not even like you have to do anything. It's just the fact of like, wait, why are there 150 people in front of our office? That never happens. Nobody ever does that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I mean, that would get a point across very quickly. And ultimately,
it's just interesting. I don't know if we need it. I just wanted to.
No, not right now. But so
soon.
And to go back to what I was saying, I think if something of similar magnitude happened in any other game where it just suddenly became unplayable, that had like a pretty dedicated, huge player base, like a game, say like Destiny or Fortnite or Marvel Rivals, if it suddenly just became hyper neglected and you just could not play the game, people would fucking riot. They would absolutely show up to their offices because people get invested in games, and I'm not saying that this is the complete factor that led TF2 down the path it did, but it's a very big, unignorable factor. It's that it's Valve. People have such a positive view and outlook on Valve to where they're pacified and don't have teeth because they don't want to show aggression towards the company that has been held in such a high regard for so long. Because it's Valve. They're great. They're awesome. How could we ever even come to think of showing up and protesting? Oh my God, it's a horrible idea. They do so much for us, right? Because people still Valve is in such a fortunate and privileged position to have the fans that they do, where they can get away with some of the worst, not only business practices, but treatment of their games. And people will fight for them and get mad at the people complaining about the awful shit they do.
Well, it is because occasionally they do a pretty good job of they have some outstanding quality still. I actually do think
it's like
I'm bipolar with Valve. I love them 1 minute and I really.
But I mean, dude, it's like saying, okay, you have
crazy.
someone that shits on the bathroom floor half the time, and then the one time they make it in the toilet, that makes up for all the times they shit on the floor. They shouldn't be shitting on the floor in the first place. And it's like, oh wow, remember that one time Valve didn't shit on the floor? Wow, that was great. And they even cleaned the toilet after they were done? That's awesome. but then they just keep going back to shitting on the floor. You know, like it's okay to point out that half of their turds don't make it in the fucking pot.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Also,
and that's
who
the
is
problem.
Valve? You know, like who are we even talking about? I think that's part of what makes the Valve issue so difficult. Is it's like we could probably point out specific people that you actually super love from Valve. You know, people who like were more instrumental in making the games that you like, and then there's probably a lot of people that if we knew what they did, we maybe wouldn't be as much of a fan of them, right?
And nothing is very officially credited at Valve, and I
And
think that is
that makes it tricky to
probably
know,
Yeah,
right?
it's an
probably
amorphous
intentional
entity.
to protect people. If I had to bet.
Oh, for sure. It's very intentionally kept amorphous, so blame can't be directed in one direction or another. It's a very good way to what's the word I'm looking for?
Really, sit down and try to figure out like who designed the ambassador. It'll take you a minute to figure it out.
Yeah.
It will if you haven't looked into it in the past.
Yeah, it's a good way
Like
to disperse or
yeah, it kind of covers up.
yeah, it very heavily attenuates any kind of criticism or attack because it's being directed at this amorphous entity that is a company name, right? It's like, oh, it's Valve. It's like, who? What?
Yeah.
And then it just goes away because, oh yeah, Valve's they do Steam and Steam is good and we get sales.
You know, I don't know if this is a salacious transition, but we're talking about like games becoming unplayable, and I think with TF2 is sort of maybe being said like slightly hyperbolically in terms of like bots, because I mean, you can boot the game, you can play with bots or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask if either of you had any developed opinions about the ongoing fucking Stop Killing Games initiative and all that live service discourse.
Yes, I educated myself on the gist of it this morning with a few videos, and the initiative itself is like great. I'm surprised something like this hasn't happened to this magnitude sooner, where people are complaining about a live service game or a purely digitally offered game, you don't actually own it, and then at any time the developer can just turn it off and take it away from you, right? And the point of like the business practice itself being incredibly anti-consumer, right? Even though we willingly sign up for these things by like, okay, we willingly purchase a license and not a copy of the game itself, we do that because we have no choice. And it's so hideously anti-consumer, it makes perfect sense to demand like, hey, once you hit end of life for one of your products, give it to the people that paid for it so we can keep playing it, right? That should just be something every developer does. I completely agree.
How familiar are you with the topic we're in specific?
You know, I would say I'm much less familiar on the games front, but I instantly am relating to it on the software front. Just the simple quote that Zesty said about if, you know, handing it back to the people that paid for it, or at least giving them a sense of ownership if they've invested their time and money into it. You know, I always think about this just from the experience of using creative software tools like media software tools, you know, the Adobe suite, audio software, what have you, and just seeing the transition in my life from it all go to, you know, things that you could pay for to things that you have to do this subscription model thing, and just what a pain that is, what a scam that is, and then like realistically too, how much you get screwed even when you're trying to pay for it. I'll do just a little tidbit here, which is that I was the CUCK that was paying for Adobe products up until quite recently. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, because I thought,
you know, financially recover yet?
It's a write off on my taxes, but that's its own thing. You know, there's some tax stuff, but I literally couldn't pay for it anymore. I have this machine that I've been using for like 8 years now. I love it. It's perfectly fast. Everything's fine with the hardware, and slowly the software incompatibility has been just a nightmare. And so it literally went from like, I changed nothing about my setup, been using this since 2017 or something, and slowly it just got more difficult to the point where it goes, oh, even the Adobe application manager doesn't support your operating system anymore. And so I'm like, well, then you won't even take my money to log in so I can use software.
Are you one of those guys
who
uses like a very old version of Windows or whatever?
I use everything as old as I can until they make me update it. But also,
that's awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome.
But anyway, so that's my little relation, because I guess I see it too as this is just a shift of all kinds of software that we pay for, whether it's a game or a production tool.
Game,
there's
software,
some stuff that Valve
movies,
really,
music.
There's some stuff that Valve does sort of excel with and like redeeming qualities about them, and I do think that is In at least to some extent, that is one of them. Of like for all Zesty, I know you have some qualms about like CS2's launch and all that. I'm not going to say that's not fair, but like you can still access all the old CS:GO files you would have had, and they have the Steam properties. You can go. They're adding support for
Right.
launching old versions of games and stuff. Like Valve is still pretty good with that, and even just like the TF2 SDK release, like most game companies wouldn't bother
Totally.
doing something like that. And
Totally.
so there are just random little redeeming nuggets like that that make me not want to totally co-sign every single call to action to go to their office with Nerf guns.
No,
Yeah,
sure,
no.
sure.
Well, hey, we'll get back to that when we need to, but Valve, I think comparatively has been very unnuisancy and unannoying. Terrible word usage there, but I've always been more frustrated when my friends drag me into playing something through some other launcher or through some other service with just how BS it is, the amount of authenticators and login proofs and all this stuff. I could go on about that forever. So Valve has, in that way, has actually been pretty cool.
Also, I gotta get my pound of flesh here, Casual, because I said
go.
last
Pound for
podcast
pound.
like. Oh, but people are fans of Steam or whatever, and you were like, nobody's a fan of
Here
Steam.
we go.
Nobody's
Here
a
we
fan of
go.
Steam.
Wait, are you-
You know how many? Hold on, Casual. You know how many fucking memes I've seen since then? All the normie fucking Twitter memes of like, anybody notice how Gabe just does nothing and wins all the time? He's so based and epic. Like, there's totally people who are huge fanboys of Valve, like just because they're like
35-year-olds, and shout out
no,
my
like,
35-year-olds.
I
love you guys.
You guys are fucking 35-year-olds, okay?
That's
I'm
right.
not
35-year-olds
35,
made the best art ever, best generation. Shout out. I'm younger, and I wish I was older. Shout out. No, I mean, but you get my point though, right? It's like being a Steam fan in 2007 is badass, and it makes sense, But they're not the cool underdog anymore. They're literally fucking Amazon. They're like,
I still side with Casual here. It's like being a fan of Walmart.
But saying nobody is like patently that's not
sorry.
true.
Well, nobody is an exaggeration in the way that people often use the term nobody to mean like the vast majority.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a notable amount of people who consider them.
I mean,
like,
justice for
saviors.
Steam fans.
people-
Free the Steam fans.
There's a ton of them, okay? They're gonna be in the comments. They're gonna be saying Richter's so fucking right now.
I love
I
using
don't know,
my
man.
Steam wish list. I love using the community tab.
Wait, hold on,
That's
because
right.
I actually used to love before Discord or like whatever. I used to hate using Skype, but I loved Steam Chat. So think about that.
Dude, yeah, before they fucking ruined
It is
Steam
bad.
Chat.
Yeah,
it's
I
really
did.
bad.
Again, what are we talking about? Like,
I'm just saying, like that is
Steam-
not a that's not a negligible amount of people who are like a fan of what Steam has done and would like actually say that. Like,
all right,
So-
sorry. The legacy. You're right. It changed the game. Props,
Okay,
we can certainly acknowledge the legacy that Steam has and the good product it is, but like you're not going to see people walking around the streets with like a pair of Steam branded sneakers or like a T-shirt,
That'd be
if somebody
badass.
send me a
Dude.
copy, I would wear a pair of that. It'd be awesome.
That's what I would-
kind of like nowadays. You don't see someone wearing like an Xbox shirt. Like maybe you did in 2007, but like not now. Like you're
Well,
not.
now Xbox shirts are like a cool retro thing, and I would say
Yeah.
also because you'll see people wear vintage Xbox shirts or whatever because they aren't the man. They didn't become the symbol of corporate greed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Xbox
the
is kinda
counterculture.
cool. It's like, well, Microsoft Store. Who cares? They're not
Nobody
a
wear a
thing.
Microsoft shirt. That would be fucking
Yeah, we know they're
insane.
kind of lame,
Yeah.
so it's like cool to wear Xbox, but like Valve, Steam, it's like, oh, you mean the #1 crazy monopoly store for buying games?
It's like wearing a Kraft cheese shirt or something. It's fucking Kraft cheese. It's like the thing people eat.
Yeah, it
and
needs to
everyone
be a
has
little
it.
niche. Yeah, people want to be a little cool,
I still stand with Casual on this one. No one's walking around saying they're a fan of Steam. No, like
I
no
just
one's
think it's
like
fun
I'm
to
a Steam
talk
fan.
about. I'll be honest.
But they love that they have they made like a cute pet out of Gaben. They didn't do that for fucking Bill Gates, okay?
Okay.
Because
But being
Bill
a fan
Gates is
of
like
Gaben,
he's like a lizard man.
Also, look-
He's not like a cute fat old guy with a big beard.
yeah, that's its own topic. But Gaben, being a fan of Gaben is different from being a fan of Steam. You know what I mean?
Also
I-
true.
I grant all the like aura in the world to Gabe Newell. Like Gabe Newell has been writing his
You
legacy
grant
for
him
like
aura?
15 years. Yeah, I'm not going to dispute that. Like the meme magic power behind Gabe Newell is crazy.
Yes, and
But
that's
that's
the money
but
printing. Like,
what
oh, they
meme
always
magic
do it
power is
right.
there
Like,
to Steam, dude?
it's an
Nobody.
extension of Gabe and like the awesome money
Bro.
printing guys who are like, oh, they're lazy and they can't count to 3, but like, look at all these awesome games they made, and like Steam is so convenient. Da, 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 da. Like,
Okay.
that aura is like real. Okay, you
But
can't
that's all.
convince
We
me
also have to
otherwise.
take into consideration, like, this has been built up over a very long period of time.
It's a
I think it's a
legacy. It's
different
legacy.
generation
Bro.
you're
It's like
talking
It
to,
is. It
man.
is like it is a legacy, sure, but it's so common, right? It's just like the same stuff that's happening. Like Gaben is always in the background, that kind of thing. It's like people are used to it now, right?
all I'm saying is they were tracking Gabe Newell's yacht. Okay, they don't do that for
But that's
fucking
because
Bill
you
Gates.
have like the mega Half-Life fans that are expecting him to show up and announce Half-Life 3. That's why they were doing. They're not doing it because they like Steam.
It's
Yeah.
They're not tracking
is he
Gabe
known for?
Newell's
Like,
yacht
he's known
because
for
of
making
Steam.
Valve, which makes fucking Steam. So it's whatever.
Do
You guys win. Whatever.
It's like being like, oh yeah, that's when it all changed. The day I downloaded Steam, it was like a marketplace for ideas, but for games. You know what I mean? Like nobody. The epiphany
No,
is
there's
not
plenty
through
of
the
people who are like, I
platform.
loved it. I bet you could find tons of people who are like, when I downloaded Steam, like things changed. Like I got
Dude, I
so many
like
games. Like,
Steam,
It's
but
like
it's because
I remember
gave
when
me
I
TF2 and these
downloaded
other things.
TurboTax 2007 for the first time, and my life was changed.
oh my god.
I'm sorry, Richter. I had to pull
What?
that one
Fuck this. I quit the podcast.
out.
Dude, Steam is legendary. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Oh,
It's just
shit.
not. It's just too like much of a platform to be like, yo, that's the best. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah,
And it
it's
doesn't
so
even have
established.
competitors. It's not like at least with like Mac versus Windows versus Linux, you can kind of do this like team sports thing where you go like, oh well, my alternative actually has benefits, you know. But who's the alternative to Steam being like, well, actually on the PSN store, you know, like
You bring up a very good
not-
point. There is no
not
tribalistic
fair.
element with Steam, right? There's no competition there, which you
Well,
really do need
there's like
that.
Steam versus everybody. There's totally like Valve
Steam versus
everybody.
indie developers, fuck them.
But like, it's like, there's not.
Self-publishers get fucked.
Yeah,
so.
Or
but-
like Steam versus like Epic Game. You were just saying,
But Epic Games sucks.
Casual, you
It's
like hate them. You hate using Epic Games Launcher and shit. Like, or
Yeah, well,
Steam
that's right.
versus
And
Blizzard is like
everyone
totally real.
does.
That's totally real.
Nobody's. It would be like if it had viability to it, it would make me more emboldened as a Steam user. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
Yeah.
They
like,
made it
again,
worse. Is the worst part. I don't like the new Steam UI, and like you said, like they fucked up Steam Chat. I'm definitely less of a Steam fan than I used to be.
Yeah, no, dude, definitely back in the day, mad cool. You know what I'm saying?
Was and then like
Voice
really
chat
cool profile
integrated.
customization. You go really hard with it. Now it's kind of like point store.
It's just blue now and very generic feeling. It
Dude, the
lost
old
soul.
Steam chat was so cozy. You would get
It
shit
It
done in
was,
that
yeah,
Steam
it was
chat.
awesome.
My current Steam chat, I'm looking at it right now, dude. There's so much like weird bloat. I'm looking at the UI.
I think I left my soul in those fucking like brownish gray Steam chat windows. When I was a kid.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Like, tell me why. I'm looking at the UI right now. Look at your Steam chat window. Tell me if it's just me. It could be me on my ancient
I'll
rig.
pull mine up too.
The profile picture in the top left, there's way more it's space above it than to the left of it. It's like not.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not good.
why? Who? Oh, no, great. Now that you've pointed that out, I can't unsee it.
You'll never see that. But just shit like that, you go like, oh, for this $1 billion fucking apparatus that surely could have like the best UI UX ever.
Well, I think
What?
they changed everything because of the Steam Deck, right? They wanted to make it all consistent for the Steam
Dude,
Deck.
money
The
can
Steam Deck
solve these
UI.
problems. Money and good designers. I just don't understand. It's crazy.
I want to know, like, did they do like a what's it called when you test consumer products and people and like fucking see what they like more?
Like a testing group or whatever. What do they call
Yeah,
that?
did they do test groups and like the people really liked this like gray blue
There's
more than they liked
no
brown?
way.
I just can't see it.
There's no way they got people in a room and we're like, all right, log into your accounts and chat a little bit. Tell me how it is. There's no way.
No, I can't. I don't see it. I think they just made the decision and pushed it. That's it.
Well, shoot, is that encroaching the end of Idle Time episode 1?
Can I spurg for a minute about something completely different?
Let's do it.
I
so
welcome you to Spurg.
One last thing. So I made a tweet saying I dare Valve to give me a reason to spend money on this game again. So short of fixing casual mode, you know, that's like then fuck it, I'll hemorrhage my wallet directly into their anus if they do that. But short of that, if they are going to put new items into MvM, like let's give the people that are wanting us to talk about this a little bone at the end here. You know, like what items would y'all want to see other than the silver gun? You know, we had the silver gun argument
We know
earlier.
there's
Like,
a
what else
big
would you want?
demand for silver items, but
What like and any item under the sun, right? What could they add to Team Fortress 2 right now and maybe make it an MvM drop something? What do you want?
that's a good question. Because that's we are at this critical moment where it's not out yet. It hasn't happened. It's still a little bit in this dreaming up the future stage in theory. Because
Yeah.
really, the community's making this update, so it's like, you know,
An
faith
item for an MvM drop.
depends
This
on the
is a very niche
conversations
thing
now.
to fantasize about.
But it could change everything, like
It
the golden
could.
pan, Richter. Don't you realize how much MvM drops have changed things already?
Listen, I feel like I'm the most consumer out of us three here, so this is why I bring it up. Because like for me, the shit that I want that is so fucking easy, right? Like adding a new Australium is so fucking easy. It's the easiest thing they could do. It's just like, give us strange items for shit we don't have stranges for yet. Seriously. Just give us like the banana.
I forget that even exists.
The
Yeah,
banana,
there's items
the
that are
Dragon's
strangers.
Fury, all that shit. Just give us strange versions of that. You can make them a rare drop for MvM. You can put them in a case and then make the case
Yes,
a drop for MvM.
like salvage
right?
crates and
Just do that
strange
again. It would be
crates,
evil,
how they're
gambling
rare.
to gamble. Yeah, sell the salvage crate, something like that. Please, God,
Yeah.
you would make so much money. And then put
Well,
like
I
a
think
rare drop or two in the
honestly,
case.
Zesty, I would just be happy if there was more robot cranks worth 1 cent. I think if they just add more stuff like
Dude,
that, I'll
Gen
be
2
very
robot
happy.
parts. Let's go.
Gen 2 robot parts, dude.
I want
This
some
is a
weird
thought that I
stuff
had
I'm never
actually.
gonna remember.
This is a thought that I had actually. So, if they're going to be putting in community-made MvM missions into this, how are they going to pay the workshoppers for it? Because it's not going to be key revenue. Because this, I feel like, because in the email that we got from Eric, the Scream Fortress update looks like it's going to be independent of this. So, my suspicion is that they're going to introduce a new kind of ticket for community MvM that you buy, and then the portion of that revenue is going to go to the workshoppers, right? That's my suspicion of what they're going to do. I think that's like the most amount of new work that we are going to see from Valve is like a recolored Tour of Duty ticket, like they do the cases and the keys and shit.
That's reasonable to expect. That's what I was gonna say.
That's what I think. And then new items beyond that, who fucking knows? I want a fucking Strange Dragon's Fury, please. That's all I care about. But make that a rare drop. Just come on. Do it for me, Valve, please. Just
Yeah,
Do
how
it
is
for
that?
Zesty, add the Strange Dragon's Fury. I think you can
Oh.
get it if you spend $1 billion on one of those like universal Strangifiers. But that's like silly.
they
So
don't
just
exist. That
do
doesn't
it.
exist.
Yeah, what the
I
heck?
can't.
Is
I
that a
can't in
thing?
good conscience ask for more Australians. I think we need less Australians in the world, but
Yeah,
more
Stranges
strange
are good.
weapons. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, more
Yeah, they should
Stranges are
start
good.
Rusty, the Rust update. Oh no,
Rusty weapons.
all our items are starting to get
You got a
old.
rusty shotgun. Go fuck yourself.
Hell yeah, dude.
My Australium's starting to degrade with time. I
Could you
didn't
imagine?
oil it properly.
the
This
the
is-
shitty Australian paint on your gun is decaying. It's like copper. It's green now.
These are in my Valve takeover fantasies in which there's a huge campaign about Dota 2 ending, and we just hype it up a bunch, and it's like, this is your last 30 days to play Dota 2. And so anyway, yeah, I think there are some good Australians too, though. Like the syringe gun I heard about. That
I mean,
one's
yeah.
been rumored,
The
right?
Blutsager looks kind of cool. I don't know if it looks like TF2, but it looks cool.
I mean, we just need Australian versions
Wait,
of the
that's
guns,
already
of
in the
stock
game.
guns we
I'm
have.
talking about new ones, though, right?
Yeah, new
Oh,
ones.
okay.
Yeah, like I like just give us stock weapons we don't have, like shotgun, pistol, revolver, syringe gun. That'd be cool. Maybe some melee weapons. Yep,
People
more
would always
more
be happy
melees.
with that.
And for Wheezy, add the Australian banana hat. It's
Yeah,
super
give
cool.
him that one.
Yeah, let's add the Australian sapper too. Let's get that in the mix.
That would be worth a lot. People would go hard for it. It would just be a gold
But
brick.
yeah.
Uh-oh,
Big,
my cat
big
is here.
flag.
Bro, imagine seeing fucking Australian sentry guns and how like
Oh my god, that'd be wild.
yeah,
That'd
a
be
lot of
nice.
ideas for Valve. You know, and if
It's
you do it, like maybe you won't get Nerf gun
easy.
guys outside your whatever.
It's so
Well, think
easy.
about
They
that.
just have to do it. They just have to do it.
I feel like Valve is going to surprise us in that way that they always do, though, where it's like they don't play it 100% safe in the way you 100% could have predicted it, but there's like something there that is new that you didn't ask for. You know what I mean? I just can't tell what it's gonna be. I feel like it would be too expected if this all went exactly how we thought it would. You know what I mean? I feel like there's gonna be some weird like, up, nope. You thought you could but it's gonna be something weird, you know? Just like MVM in the first place, just like pastime. There's some weird chemicals I think floating around in the air in the Bellevue office that get them thinking of this stuff, right?
I hope so, man. Again, the thought that's only swirling around in my head right now is why?
It's pretty
why?
good. It's pretty funny in that way.
Why are they doing this? And I have no reasonably concrete answer. Even the idea of them redirecting traffic away from casual mode and putting less maps into that, like even that's not a 100% satisfying answer because it still doesn't reduce load on the matchmaker if they redirect people from casual into MvM, because that would reduce the player pool for casual mode and fuck the matchmaking system, and then but still load it for people trying to find MvM games. So that's not even a 100% accurate answer. So I just don't know. I don't know why. I have to
There
know.
could be an MVM fan there in the office. Yeah.
It could be true. It could just be the one MvM guy's like, man, I love fucking MvM. Let's throw more stuff in TF2. That could be it. It could be a totally innocuous thing like that. All right, guys. Well, I think it's a good place to wrap. So we can wrap it there. Gentlemen, closing thoughts?
Excited for this new update. Not what I was expecting. I hope they do it right. There's potential to fuck it up a lot. But overall, it's exciting. Not as exciting as I think some other people are excited for it. I don't understand why some people are quite as excited for it as they are. I mean, but it is cool. It's interesting. It's not what I was expecting.
Likewise.
Let's see aerial bots. Let's see drone bots. Let's see some little mini helicopter bots we can air shot in MVM. Somebody out there, maybe you could try an MVM prank map that's really man versus man. You get queued up against it becomes a 3v3 kind of death brawl. You're half the people are LARPing as robots or something. But that's all I got to say.
And then for me, I just want it to be good. Please adhere to some kind of cohesive traditional MvM feel
Direction,
while also tapping
make it beautiful.
Make it beautiful and just tap into the already really good maps that are out there that people love and know are good. Just do that, please.
Remember the game we fell in love with. That's all.
Yeah, avoid the crap. Put stuff in the game that are gonna get people excited and make it genuinely good. It's not that hard, and like Richter said, there's a lot of room for them to fuck it up, and I expect them to fuck it up. But it's so easy for them to not fuck it up that part of me thinks they won't fuck it up. We'll wrap there. Thank you all for watching. Greatly appreciate it. If you guys want notifications for when new podcast episodes go live, then join the Discord linked in the description below. Links to these guys' channels will also be in the description. Gentlemen,
and go play Team Fortress 2 Gold Rush. I gotta shill it in every episode. Go play TF2 Gold Rush. Go join the Discord.
Link for that in the description too. So that's about it.
Good episode.
Indeed. Y'all take care. See ya.
Peace.
See ya.